One of my biggest questions about Superman Legacy through this whole journey of the process getting to now filming is who is going to be the main villain of this film. I made a whole video about it, as you can see there's the thumbnail right there, talking about all the possibilities, some of these great Superman villains that could be featured in this film, because that was one of the things I was most excited for with Superman Legacy, which of course we now know is just called Superman, is Superman has a great rogues gallery. I mean, it's not as diverse as like Batman or Spider-Man, but he's got a great rogues gallery, and we've never really seen that on full display in live action, because in the movies it's always just Lex Luthor or General Zod. That's about it for who he's fighting in his movies. And so I would love to see a Lobo or a Bizarro or Brainiac. Everybody wants Brainiac. Even Parasite or Metallo, Livewire. Give me some Mr. Mixius Pitalook up in here. But now, at this point, we know Superman is now officially filming. That was confirmed on Superman's birthday, February 29th, when we got the first look at the crest of the suit, which looked beautiful, by the way. There was still no like official kind of news on like who's going to be the villain, because we had the full cast table read, and the only villain we have cast in this film is Lex Luthor, which of course Nicholas Hoult, great. I'm really excited to see him as Lex Luthor, but he can't be the only villain of this film. And, you know, there's been rumors that some of these other heroes like Metamorpho and Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific, that Superman may end up fighting them at some point. So they'll kind of be antagonists in the film, which, you know, that's all right. That's cool. Whatever. But I really just don't want them to waste Lex Luthor on this first movie. I want him to have a big presence in the DCU. So I've been thinking this whole time, like, initially my pitch would have been, okay, introduce Lex Luthor in this film and have him have a presence, but kind of have him be in the background a little bit and have him maybe pulling the strings behind the scenes, setting him up for a bigger role in the future, whereas then you have another bigger villain as the main villain, like a Brainiac or a Parasite or something. That would have been my plan. But it looks like Lex Luthor will be the main villain. And things just got a little bit more interesting, because My Time to Shine Hello, of course, Scooper, that we talk about pretty frequently on the channel, took a screenshot of this TikTok that Rachel Brosnahan posted, which, man, she is gorgeous. She's going to be a great Lois Lane. And so it's her with Nicholas Hoult, shaved head, as Lex Luthor, and David Cornsweet on the right there as well. And My Time to Shine Hello captioned this Lois and the two main villains of Superman. So you got Rachel Brosnahan as Lois, and you got Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. So David Cornsweet is playing our Superman. So this means, if My Time to Shine Hello is telling the truth here, which I am leaning towards believing that she is correct, because even though recently she's had a bit more of a spotty track record, in the past she's been completely accurate. And this, I don't think, is really, I mean, this is a pretty big, bold claim, and I feel like you wouldn't lie about this, but we'll see. You know, take it with a grain of salt, consider rumor for now. But what she's claiming here is that David Cornsweet is also going to be playing a villain of this movie. So that means we are getting an evil Superman in this film, which is a trope that's a little bit overused recently. I mean, Homelander, Omni-Man, Injustice, all that stuff. Zack Snyder's Snyderverse Superman. Evil Superman is nothing new. But what could be different with this is that it would actually be a thing from the comics. And there's two different main options here. One of which is Cyborg Superman, which could be interesting. You know, Lex Luthor, he could create a cyborg robot version of Superman to fight Superman. That would be interesting approach that they could take there, which I wouldn't mind, but I definitely 100% would prefer Bizarro. I love Bizarro. Bizarro is one of my favorite Superman villains. He's such an interesting, cool character. You know, obviously in comics, there's a lot of kind of reverse villains that are like the reverse of the hero. You know, you have Reverse Flash. In the MCU, they did it a lot, like with in the first Ant-Man movie, he fought Yellow Jacket. He and Black Panther versus Eric Killmonger, aka the Golden Jaguar. So there's a lot of reverse villains for many heroes in comics, and Bizarro is the reverse villain for Superman. And I've always just thought, first of all, his design is cool. It's like a zombie Superman, but his suit is purple instead, which I love purple, one of my favorite colors. And the Superman logo is backwards. So I thought that's interesting. And also the fact that he comes from a different world, an alien planet, where he talks backwards. So it's just a fun character as well, and this seems like a character very much up James Gunn's alley. So this could be similar to what I just mentioned before, except instead of Cyborg Superman Lex Luthor, he does something where he creates Bizarro. And this has been one of my pitches for the longest time, because back when I was in middle school, back when the Snyderverse was still a thing, back before the first Justice League movie even came out, I really wanted them to do the Legion of Doom in the DCEU. I wanted them to do that for the first Justice League movie, and, you know, have the Legion of Doom, Lex Luthor leading them and everything, and I wanted it to be that Lex Luthor would create Bizarro, and it's just an idea that I've always loved. So bringing that to Superman Legacy, or Superman, I think is really great, because I mean we have seen Bizarro in live action recently with Superman and Lois, and that was a pretty great version of the character. But man, seeing evil David Corenswet on the big screen in the purple suit, that would just be beautiful and glorious to see. I think that'd be great. And a lot of people want to see Lex Luthor avoid doing the full super suit in this film, so this would be another way of doing that. Just keep Lex in the business suit and then send out Bizarro to do the actual fighting for him. I think that'd be a great way of going about doing this, but again, this is just a rumor for now, but it looks like we will be seeing either Bizarro or Cyborg Superman, or either way, just some sort of evil Superman played by David Corenswet in Superman, which of course is coming to theaters July of 2025. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.